Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning. It's Monday, the 15th of May, and this is Coffee with God. So I trust you've got a decent cup of coffee and a decent Bible. If you have your Bibles, turn to Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 and 22. And we're going to talk about forgiveness, but I want to give you a different thought on it this morning, if possible. Then Peter came up and said to Jesus, or said to him, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Now, the Jewish tradition would talk about 3 times. So Peter was being gracious by saying 2 times the normal plus 1, 7 times. Jesus says 70 times 7. Now, interesting that Lamech, one of the direct descendants of Cain, says this in Genesis 4, verse 24. If Cain is avenged 7-fold, then Lamech 77-fold. And we're talking about avenging or forgiveness. And I want to say to you, it's an attitude of forgiveness. It's not a counting. It's not a how many times I've forgiven you. It's an attitude of the heart that wants to default to forgiveness, to letting go, to releasing, to not holding on to the past, not being bound by what people owe us and how we can get back what they owe us, whether it's forgiveness, whether it's pain, whether it's emotional stress, whatever it is that we need to let go of. And I want to make this statement. This is the statement that I actually want you to think about. Let's try and have an attitude of forgiveness, because forgiving others brings peace to you. Forgiving others sets your heart at rest. Om ander te vergewe bring vrede na jou toe. So, dit gaan nie oor die verhouding, dit gaan nie oor die ander persoon. Dit gaan oor om jouself die beste geleentheid te gee in elke dag om stabiel te wees, om jou emosies meer onder beheer te hê. Want as daar onvergifnis is daar altyd 'n terugkyk na iets wat gebeur het, iets in die verlede, en dan as daai persoon of daai insident of daai situasie of daai omstandighede word ooit genoem, dan is daar 'n striweling in jou eie gemoed. So om 'n persoon te vergewe is eintlik om jouself tot vrede, tot rus te bring. And that's what I want to share with you. That's what I want to encourage and challenge you to do this Monday and as we go into this week. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and, it just made me pause and think, going back through my life to what my mother meant to me, and she's been in heaven for many years. But just thinking about the things that my mother did, and yesterday I said it in the sermon, are all mothers perfect? No, mothers aren't perfect. But they have great stories to tell about their children. A mother has an ability to just remember the smallest, most incredible detail of their children's lives. And as I think back, I realized I didn't have to forgive my mother, but the less things that I'm holding accounts for, the cleaner my desk is, the cleaner my emotions and my thinking could be as I went backwards. And so I share with you this morning. To forgive someone is to have an attitude of bringing peace to yourself so that you can better handle this day and every tomorrow that the Lord has in store for you. And remember to give things that happened to you in the past to the Lord, so you own it and you give it. You can't give something that you don't own. If you don't own your past, you can't give it to the Lord to deal with. And the Lord works all things out for good. So let go of past hurts. Have that attitude of when Peter says to Jesus, 7 times? He says, no, 7 times 70. Have an attitude, a default to letting go and allowing God to deal with the things that need to be dealt with. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. May the Lord bless you.